on the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield. Live from the Hyatt Regency, this is Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery. Brought to you by Authentic Brand. Elevate your everyday style with a premium label of choice. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. By your local Ford dealers. Hy-Vee. Score big savings with the new Hy-Vee Perks membership. Iowa Corn. You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Brought to you by Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. University of Iowa Healthcare. Changing medicine, changing lives. U.S. Bank. Proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by U.S. Cellular. Built for the Hawkeyes. Built for silencing notifications and turning up the noise. U.S. Cellular. Built for us. Here's the voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Here at the Hyatt Regency in Coralville and out there across the Midwest on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Iowa basketball's Road Warriors, they head back out on the interstate this weekend for a Saturday afternoon showdown with next-door neighbor Illinois. That's a 1:15 tip at the sold-out State Farm Center in Champaign-Urbana. Meanwhile, the Hawkeyes rolled into East Lansing last night, led for 25 of the 40 minutes, and defeated Michigan State 78-71 in very impressive fashion. Couple that victory last night with an 88-86 overtime decision of Wisconsin on Saturday at Carver. Back-to-back quad one wins, and here the Hawks are at level 500 in the Big Ten. 8 victories, 8 defeats, 16 and 11 overall, with more quality victories possible out there for the taking. 2 games with Illinois, a road trip to Northwestern, and a home game with Penn State. The Hawks can work their way back into the conversation for postseason basketball sooner than you think. All that matters, though, right now in the here and now is at Illinois on Saturday. That's a 1:15 tip-off and a 12:15 pregame coverage here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Thanks for joining us tonight on the HRN. I'm Gary Dolphin, as always, joined by former Hawkeye great Bobby Hansen. He's alongside. Coach McCaffery will be joining us shortly. We've got a couple Hawkeye players per usual. We'll have Josh Dix and Price Sanford join us here shortly. We're at the beautiful remodeled Hyatt Regency on the banks of the Iowa River in the Iowa River Landing. The Hawkeyes have won now 5 of the last 6 against the Michigan State Spartans, and that is not easy to do. They have a Hall of Fame coach in Tom Izzo there, and last night in East Lansing, Bobby, it was one of the more impressive games, at least in recent memory for me. And Iowa's had a lot of great wins under Fran, but when you go into the Breslin Center and lead nearly start to finish, up 12 or 14, whatever it was at halftime, led by 16 in the second half. And the amazing thing is, without Owen Freeman and without Laji Ndembele because of foul issues, I think it's safe to say the Hawks are playing their best basketball.
Yeah, they really are, and they played a Michigan State team, Gary, that's playing pretty good as well, as winners of 8 of their last 10. So that was a huge victory there for the Hawkeyes. And once they got the lead halfway through the first half there, they really never gave it up. I don't think. Patrick came in and had a really solid first half and got the lead for the Hawkeyes. Peyton Sanford and Price hit a three-pointer in there, and the Hawks go up 12 at halftime. Came out, start the second half, and put it on them and withstood anything that Michigan State could bring at them there in the second half. So nice job at the free throw line. Took really good care of the basketball. That was number one key to the game, is you cannot turn it over against Michigan State. Fran was, just harping on that the whole practice session, all the pregame comments. Everybody was saying you can't turn it over and you got to rebound with these guys. And the Hawks did both of those and come away with a big quad one victory, the back-to-back quad one victory. Wisconsin and then Michigan State last night.
The Hawks out-rebounded the Spartans by 1, turned the ball over just 6 times. When you do that against that pressure defense that we've seen for a long time at Michigan State, man, you're playing well.
You really are, and took good care of the basketball. Nobody had more than 2 turnovers in the game, and they pressured Michigan State's guards as well. Never really let them get going there to the basket. They ended up hitting 10 10 3-pointers, 10 of 20. A lot of those came early, and the Hawks withstood that, though. Withstood it, and the rebounding, points in the paint. You don't see this often versus Michigan State team. Hawks win that points in the paint 40-28 without your big man, freshman of the week, Owen Freeman, who had foul trouble for most of the game, but Ben Crickey was phenomenal.
Ben was incredible. We'll talk about him. Tom Izzo on his postgame show harped long and often about points in the paint, about how the Hawkeyes drove the ball, especially in the second half. They got it inside. And to your point, without Owen Freeman and Laji Dembele, it was terrific. But Patrick McCaffery, and that's where I'm going with this, Bobby. You mentioned Patrick. The senior scored 14 points, 5 of 8 shooting, went 4 of 5 from the free throw line. He got to the foul line because he's driving the basketball, and he's done that now in at least the last 3 or 4 games. That's about as far back as my memory goes. He has been spectacular, and Fran likes to say it doesn't matter if you're coming off the bench or starting. Patrick played almost 28 minutes last night, but he has been productive here for the last month.
Playing with confidence, and I have to believe that ankle is fully healed up, Gary. I mean, and that'll hamper you. And that was about a month ago that Patrick went down with that. So he's back healthy, and he certainly provides a really, really nice spark off the bench for Coach McCaffery. And, he's a dead-eye free throw shooter. So, it's great to have in the basketball game. Stuck his nose on the defensive board there, had 4 rebounds, did not turn it over, a couple assists. Really like how they're sharing the basketball, moving without the basketball, Gary, and that 5-out motion offense. They stung Michigan State several times with some back cuts and had some nice passes. And I remember Owen Freeman had a nice backdoor pass to maybe Peyton Sanford in there. And then Owen himself went backdoor and had the finishing dunk there for the Hawkeyes. So that's a team that's connected, playing well together, enjoying each other out there, and it was a happy locker room when I went in there to talk to Coach McCaffery.
As a loose basketball team, you mentioned Ben Crickey. He recorded 18 points, a season high, 14 rebounds, 7 of 11 from the floor. I was so happy for the young guy. He had that 4 or 5 game stretch, really struggled with his jump shot, but he was reining them in last night from that 15 to 17 foot range. I love what Tom Izzo said in our pregame visit. He goes, Iowa's got the mid-range jumper. He said, what is it now? He said, it's a dunk or a 3. College basketball has lost the mid-range jump shot. Not at Iowa, not with Ben Crickey.
He called it almost un-American to shoot that mid-range shot. I thought I heard him right there in that. But, it used to be a big part of basketball. Try to get the ball as close as you can to the basket, right? You don't have to get it further away and shoot threes. But Hawkeyes have a lot of good mid-range shooters. And a couple of the guys we'll talk to tonight, Price and Josh Dix as well. And a big part of Tony Freeman's game is that mid-range, or Tony Perkins. A big part of that is his mid-range game there. So, Patrick McCaffery's got a nice pull-up game in there, and we all know Ben Crickey, that's right there in the mid-range. He's from 12 to 17 feet. He is automatic.
Now, I want to talk about Peyton Sanford before we take our first break, Bobby, but he's kind of like the Derek Jeters of the world. You think maybe they're having an average day, and then you look at the box score, and 3 for 4, couple doubles, 3 RBIs, 12 putouts. Peyton Sanford, he's not quiet when you look at his box score, but he's clearly the leader of this basketball team. You mentioned the back cuts. He had 2 or 3 of those last night, and he'll hit a standstill 3, and that one fadeaway baseline jumper he had with the guy right in his face, swished it through. He's getting it done from a lot of different areas and for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah, he's one of the best shooters in the country, Gary. This guy's on the NBA radar with his ability to pull up quick with a 3-point shot. He's a rebounder. He'll get in there and get some rebounding. He's a leading average rebounder there for the Hawkeyes. 6.5 rebounds.
6 boards last night.
Yeah, I got 6 last night. Doesn't turn it over. And I'm thinking back to the Wisconsin game on Saturday when the Hawks in overtime got down by 4, and Peyton stepped up and hit a huge 3, which went a long way toward victory in that game. So he's not afraid of the moment, no doubt about it, and he's enjoying playing with his little brother Price. And the two of them play a lot alike, and Fran's been putting them in there together. They got a certain connection between the two of them there. And you better not leave either one of those young guys open, or they're going to sting you.
Hawks with big victories over Wisconsin Saturday and Michigan State last night, and now here comes another juggernaut, another border state rival in the Fighting Illini. By the way, Illinois is playing at Penn State tonight, and they're up 10 when last I looked midway through the second half. We'll get a U.S. Bank scoreboard update a couple times throughout the evening, but we're going to pause for our first break, and when we come back, we'll be talking with Josh Dix, Iowa's super sophomore, who's having a tremendous year for the Hawkeyes. He'll join us. Price Sanford is here. Talk about Price, part of that terrific recruiting class that Coach McCaffery brought in this year, 4 freshmen, and they're all contributing. We're on the banks of the Iowa River here in the Iowa River Landing at the Hyatt Regency, where you can join us for Hawk Talk each week. We're dwindling down to, 2 or 3 shows remaining in Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery for this season. So we invite you to come on out tonight. Next Monday night, we'll be back here on Monday night of next week for the next edition. But we're here each week at the Hyatt Regency, Coralville's restaurant, and watch the show live each week. The folks at the Hyatt are offering a special food menu, as well as new cocktails and a $3 draft special. How about that? Ask for that. If you like beer, it's a $3 draft special. Come on down to the Hyatt Regency, Coralville, and join us for a great evening. And don't be afraid to ask for Bud Light. Bud Light is a proud sponsor of Hawkeye basketball and Hawkeye athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. That's Bud Light. All right, we'll take a break, step out, come back in just a minute with us. If you'd like to talk to Coach McCaffery, you can through Twitter or on Facebook. And those handles are on Twitter at Gary Dolphin, on Twitter at Gary Dolphin, or Facebook, facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks, facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. This is Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery from Learfield.
I'm Ingrid Lizarraga, breast surgeon at the University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center, the state's only NCI-designated cancer center. Here, we look beyond just the type of cancer you have to discover the molecular details of the disease. We have teams dedicated to each cancer type, with treatments and trials you won't find anywhere else in Iowa. Go to uihc.org/cancer.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
Ground beef is only $2.99 a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And $2.99 a pound is not just the price today or this week. It's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop. And count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for ground beef every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
To anyone passing through our state, fields and fields of corn might be what they see. But the people who call Iowa home know it's so much more. Corn is ethanol, a homegrown, renewable fuel. Corn is delicious pork, beef, poultry, and dairy. Corn is in 4,000 products we rely on every day. So yeah, our highway views are full of corn, and we're proud of it. Because corn grows Iowa. Show your support for Iowa corn farmers at iowacorn.org/corn grows Iowa.
Hi, it's your friend, social media. You know where I showcase the cool life of sports stars and friends. But don't fall for the editing and good lighting, because we all have struggles and challenges, like with alcohol or drug use, gambling, or our mental health. You know, talking about it is a sign of strength. Maybe you don't know who to talk to? Your Life Iowa can give you resources or treatment options. Get free 24/7 confidential support. Call, text, or chat online at yourlifeiowa.org. A message from Iowa HHS.
Hyatt Regency and Coralville's Iowa River Landing. This is Hawk Talk with Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffery. Fran will be joining us in about 10 minutes. We got a couple of his players with us tonight. We'll talk to Josh Dix in just a minute. Josh is a sophomore, 6'5", from Council Bluffs Lincoln High School. Came in a year ago, coming off a broken leg in the high school basketball postseason, and he's worked his way through that, and he has really lit the lamp, as they say in hockey, the last few weeks. He's averaging in double figures on the year, averaging 8 points, couple rebounds, couple of assists. What I like is shooting 55% from the field and 87% from the foul line. And why do I bring that up? The Hawkeyes were 18 of 23 last night, Josh, from the line. They really was a difference maker against Wisconsin in overtime. I think 19 of 24 in that game. And Iowa is the #1 free throw shooting team in the Big Ten. That just doesn't happen, and come postseason time, that's always huge. Congratulations on the victory last night. What pleased you most about the win?
Yeah, just our overall team effort. I feel like defensively we really locked in. You know, they weren't getting too much in transition, so I thought we took really good care of the ball too and limited their transition opportunities.
And that you bring up a great point with Michigan State, because they love to fly up and down the floor on both defense and offense.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We knew that coming in, they kind of played like us. You know, they wanted to get up and down the court. So we're okay with that, playing that way, but we wanted to get stops and run out.
And take care of the ball. I mean, you only turned it over, what, 6 times in the game? And that is huge. You guys are not a turnover team. I mean, I've always considered Iowa going to be less than 10 turnovers, but against that type of rugby defense where they get their hands on you and just pound it away on you, to not turn it over was a huge key to winning that game. Just talk about that physical defense that Michigan State plays and how you play through it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We knew that they were going to be really physical, so we thought our off-the-ball motion had to be really good, and we felt like it was, and also we felt like we had mismatches in the post, and I thought, you know, every post player that came in and played did really well. I mean, especially Ben. It started with him. You know, he rebounded the ball really well and kind of set the tone with the physicality.
Bobby mentioned the turnovers. The Hawks had 7 more points off turnovers last night and won by 7. Oh, go figure, huh?
Yeah.
And that played into the Wisconsin game as well. What a boost of momentum, adrenaline coming out of Wisconsin, the Wisconsin game with a victory in overtime, headed to East Lansing. It had to be a great boost, a little bounce off the trampoline.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, we've been in a lot of close games this year, you know. Haven't got some, but, you know, just to get the job done in that game, you know, we felt like coming down the end, you know, we got Tony and Peyton, you know, they can close out games for us really well.
Michigan State really physical on the perimeter last night. They obviously have watched a lot of tape of you and Tony and how well you're playing, and they really tried to be a disruptive force, but you were able to get enough passes inside. The back cuts were working along the baseline especially.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Peyton got a lot of those. You know, we know teams are going to kind of mug him and face guard him out of what he wants to do. So, you know, he's always moving off the ball and, you know, getting open. And, you know, Tony and Ben, they're always moving too. So it's just good.
And Josh, I think a huge part of the value that you bring to the Hawkeyes is your ability to handle the ball, take some pressure off of Tony Perkins or Brock or whoever it might be, DeSante that's out there. It's nice to have a couple of ball handlers out there. Just talk about your game and where it all started, who taught you how to play, and your versatility.
Yeah, that's one of the things I kind of try and do as well as I can, is be versatile, you know, just be successful in different areas in my game, you know. Yeah, so bringing the ball up, you know, Tony does a lot for our team, Brock as well, you know, they have their ball in the hands a lot, so sometimes they need some rest, and, you know, I feel like I can bring the ball up the court a little bit and, you know, just try and help them, give them a little break when needed, because, you know, those guys have the ball in their hands a lot, they're exerting a lot of energy, so if I can give them a little break, then that's good.
Absolutely.
You look so much more comfortable in your sophomore year at both ends of the floor. You love to guard. You've really improved defensively, but you mentioned the ball handling. Nothing phases you. I don't care who you're playing, and you're going to play a good team on Saturday that loves to get in your jersey too, but whether it's a waist-high dribble or down around your ankles, you get the ball into the front court. Nothing really phases you is what I'm going for, or going with this.
Yeah, I feel like having a good team around you, you know, my teammates, they trust me, so that brings a lot of confidence to myself, and the coaches trust me, you know. They kind of just tell me to play at my own pace, you know. not being the fastest guy out there, you kind of just have to be decisive in your changes of paces and stuff like that, and just be able to get the ball across the court to set up the offense.
You know, covering high school sports in this state for years, Council Bluffs always outstanding high school football town with Lincoln and the Catholic school, and I mean, it's really solid football. You've kind of brought that basketball into the conversation now, much more so, and they've always had good high school basketball. What's the high school basketball like in Council Bluffs?
Oh yeah, you know, it's pretty good. We got a lot of just young kids that I think are really enthusiastic about playing basketball and getting to know the game. You know, I feel like it's growing. You know, it's been a big football town, you know, especially with Lewis Central. They produced a lot of D1 players. You know, they got Logan Jones here at Iowa right now, so but they
he's
produce,
not bad.
Yeah, he's pretty good. So but yeah, we overall, I just feel like we have a bunch of kids that, you know, just want to keep getting better. And the high school that I came from in Lincoln, you know, we have a lot of camps and stuff, and there's always a good turnout of kids there.
Well, if you can win at the Breslin Center, you can certainly win at the State Farm Center, and neither place is easy to go into. And you know what's coming on Saturday. You had a taste of that last year.
Oh yeah, for sure. We know it's going to be another physical battle. You know, just like Michigan State. You know, we know that they got a lot of weapons, so we got to try and limit each one of those. And you know, on offense, we know that that'll just kind of take care of itself. You know, just run our motion game, get out and run the break. But you know, it all starts with stops and rebounds.
I'll keep doing what you're doing, Josh.
Well, before we let him go, though, let's hear about his family. I was reading up on you a little bit today, your bio.
We saw him at Creighton.
Yeah, you got 3 younger siblings. You're the older brother and all that crew, and mom and dad, and your AAU coach, your high school coach. Give them a shout out in case they're listening over there in Western Iowa.
Yeah. Just shout out my mom, Kelly, my dad, Nate, my 3 younger siblings. You know, they make it out to a lot of games. And then my high school and AAU coach, you know, they still text me to this day. They're very supportive and, you know, just checking up on if I need anything, even off the court. So, you know, just thankful for all of them.
Yeah, who's your AAU program you played for?
I played for the OSA Crusaders in Omaha.
Oh, in Omaha.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So. What's impressed you about this group of guys, not only this year, but last year when you came in as a freshman, about the Iowa way?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I feel like it's kind of like an underdog mentality. You know, we just got a lot of guys that, you know, kind of felt like underrated, you know, just going up against a team like Michigan State, you know, we're kind of underrated. So, you know, just playing with that chip on our shoulder, I feel like Brock's a really good example of that, you know, and this whole freshman class just kind of plays with a huge chip on their shoulder.
Well, Josh Dix, Council Bluffs Lincoln, 6'5" sophomore guard. Keep doing what you're doing. You're an integral part of this team going forward. Thanks for stopping by, buddy.
Nice job,
thank you for having me.
Josh Dix, ladies and gentlemen, on Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery. We're brought to you tonight by U.S. Cellular, as a proud sponsor of the Hawkeyes. U.S. Cellular wants you to make the most of today by choosing game day traditions first and scrolling later. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Josh vacates the dais here. We're going to talk with Price Sanford. Hawkeyes on deck next here on Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery. Iowa at Illinois on Saturday afternoon. More on that coming up here. We're at the Hyatt Regency in the beautiful restaurant, the remodeled restaurant, and the beautifully remodeled Hyatt Regency in the Iowa River Landing. Back with more on Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery in just a minute from Learfield.
Is only $2.99 a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And $2.99 a pound is not just the price today or this week. It's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop. And count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for ground beef every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through Life Care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oakknoll.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel. Good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smartertogether. Member FDIC.
Contractors, you're busier than ever this fall, but you've got this with high-quality building materials from Spahn & Rose, like GAF. Use the Spahn & Rose Visualizer to plan the perfect roof and blend an elegant architectural look with exceptional performance. GAF, we protect what matters the most. With several Spahn & Rose locations nearby, you can focus on life's other important things this fall. Spahn & Rose, buy easier, build better.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. While farmers work hard to grow the best crop, their Iowa corn checkoff investments are hard at work too. Opening local and global markets for corn and corn-fed products, educating drivers on unleaded 88 as the best fuel at the pump, finding new uses for corn, and sharing the farmer's story. Iowa corn farmers are backed by researchers, educators, market experts, and more. To keep corn growing Iowa.
Hey Iowans, Luka Garza here. For me to get to the NBA, I've worked on my speed, precision, and my shot. For you to get to the NBA, all you need is the Iowa Lottery. First, play bonus multiplier scratch tickets and you could win up to $100,000. Then, enter non-winning tickets for your chance to win a VIP suite experience with the Minnesota Timberwolves, including food, hotel, and $1,000 cash. Plus, center court seats to see the Iowa Wolves. Enter today and see rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery. Fran will join us here in just a minute. It's always fun to visit with some of the coaches or some of the players on the roster, some of the players that Coach McCaffery and staff have recruited here in the last couple of years. As we turn that roster over, that's the great thing about college basketball. Players come, players leave, and we heard from Josh Dix a minute ago, and now it's a pleasure to welcome Price Sanford to the microphone out of Hawkeyes High School. Price is a part of that terrific freshman class of 4 this year from Hawkeyes Northwest. 6'6". He's hit some big shots, particularly in the last 3-4 games, and it's amazing because when you finally hit one that maybe you were missing the previous 3 or 4 shots, it does wonders for your confidence, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Seeing some shots go in on the road against these big Big Ten schools ups the confidence a little bit, and then when you're in there the next time, you're going to hit one as well. So.
What's been the big adjustment, the struggles in your freshman year, coming from a great high school program, but now you're in the Big Ten?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a jump in the speed of the game and the physicality. So that was obviously a jump for me, and then kind of just that confidence portion that I was talking about. Just believing that I can compete with these guys, and I'm one of the best guys out here.
And then your brother Peyton, he's got to be giving you some good advice, isn't he? I mean, a couple years older. You guys could be twins, but you look a lot alike, same size and that. But what are you learning from Big Brother?
I've learned a lot since the summer when I got here. He's always been on my side, helping me out with whether it just be learning some plays or learning defensive principles. Pretty much everything. He's right there in my ear, trying to help me out and get me up to speed.
That doesn't surprise me. You and Peyton hit Peyton Sanford hit huge threes last night shortly before the halftime intermission that put you up by 14, but you know how quickly those leads can dissipate with the three-point line. But bottom line, what are your takeaways from Saturday's tremendous win over Wisconsin in overtime and now Michigan State, 2 quad 1 victories?
Yeah, Saturday, obviously a huge win for us, and I think it's going to spark a little run, obviously, with the win last night. But I was so proud of how we fought. There's a lot of points where we could have, kind of broke and just, lost our cool or whatever, but we kept fighting. We got down by 4 in overtime, but kept fighting and fought all the way back to win in overtime with a big-time win. And then last night, same thing. We got a big lead in the first half, and, they went on a little run, cut it to 5, but, we kept our heads strong and, kept fighting and pulled it out.
And you've experienced the Kohl Center earlier this season, now the Breslin Center, and Saturday you get your first taste of the State Farm Center. I know you've been down there watching Brother Peyton before you arrived at Iowa, but you know what you're in for.
Yeah, I actually have never been down there. I didn't get to go to one of the games. Yeah, so
you
this
missed that trip, huh?
Yeah, this will be my first trip down there. But yeah, really excited.
Looks like a spaceship.
Yeah.
As you drive up to it, looks like a gigantic mushroom.
Been around a while.
Yeah. All right.
But it's a great basketball facility.
Yeah. Hey, did Peyton give you that assist on that three?
No, it was Ben. Ben gave me the assist last night.
There was one that Peyton gave you a pass on the left wing out of the Wisconsin game or the game before that.
Oh, it was Maryland.
It was a Maryland game. Yeah. That was pretty cool. I love seeing Connor would give it to Patrick, Keegan, and Chris. Kind of, that keep it in the family.
He actually threw you the ball, huh?
Yeah, I guess he did.
Don't miss.
Was it a competitive environment in the living room growing up? With bigger brother.
Oh yeah, a lot more fights when we were younger. A lot of punches being thrown. Balls getting thrown at each other. But
you seem to get along well now.
Yeah. We always have been that way. A lot of fights, but that's all love. And
you went through a tough stretch. You're fighting for minutes as a freshman, and what a great story. You went to Fran and said, Coach, when you were struggling with your shot, said, Coach, I want to go to the scout team because I want to play against the number ones in practice, and that will hit a few shots against the number ones. That improves your confidence. And look at you now. You've hit some big shots here in these last two games, but even back further than that.
Yeah, I wouldn't just say it's the hitting shots part of it. It's just the overall, gaining confidence, both sides of the floor. Even I get to guard these big time players every day in practice. That's it's going to help me down the road. It's going to help me right now, and just getting to be another guy on another team and take a lot of shots. It's kind of got me going a little bit.
How about this freshman class? I mean, Iowa, they've had 2 and 3. I'm trying to think of when we had 4 of this gift level, of this talent level. Lodgy and Owen obviously got in foul trouble last night, but you guys, you bonded long before you got to Iowa City. Talk about this class as a group, as a unit.
Yeah. I'm really proud of us. We put our heads down in the summer, and all of us knew that we could help the team out a lot, and I think that's shown so far this year. But like you said, we got close even before we got to Iowa City. I went up to Brock and Owen's game. Got to see them play. I was texting with them all the time. Lodgy was a little bit different because he lived in New Jersey. So, but we bonded right away with him too. Live right next to each other in the dorms during the summer. So, we're with each other every night, whether it's watching movies or, playing mini golf out in the hallway. It was really fun getting to know those guys even more and getting really close with them. And I think that helped our chemistry, on the court as well.
Same question I gave Josh. Talk about your parents, your grandparents. I know your grandfather was a coach back in my era at Roosevelt. It's good to see him all the time at the game. They're so supportive. And go ahead and talk about the family.
Grandpa coached a long time Iowa high school basketball. Played at Hawkeyes High School. Has the single game rebounding and point record.
Nice.
So that was always something me and Peyton tried to get to. It was 46 points. I never got there. I got to 42, but
he had 46 points.
He did. Yeah, he was a lot taller than everybody. That's what we always tell him. Like, it was easy for him because he's going against these 5'9" guys, but. So he.
Back when Hawkeyes was
really
out
small,
in the middle of the state.
Yeah, exactly. Really small school.
Dirt roads out there.
Yeah, exactly. So. Like I said, he coached for a long time, and my dad and mom both played. Mom played at Drake and Simpson, and my dad played at Hastings College in Nebraska.
Pretty good player, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that's what he tells me at least. I don't know.
He was like player of the year.
Yeah,
good, wasn't he?
I don't think he was. I don't know.
I got bad information.
He never.
He told me wrong. Man.
He told you that?
No, I'm kidding.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Somebody did. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, but from what I've heard, really good player, and obviously he coached me and Peyton our entire lives. And my grandpa and mom, and I got my grandma on the other side who's really, really short, so we're lucky we didn't get her height, but she's always super supportive, and same with our younger sister, Piper, a sophomore in high school right now. She's always super supportive, and so, yeah, super loving family, and really, really fortunate to have them on our side.
Price Sanford, 6'6", freshman, Hawkeyes Northwest. we let you go, superstar in high school, and now you're coming in off the bench, gouging for minutes wherever you can. What's the biggest adjustment been for you in the mental approach to basketball, coming from Hawkeyes, where you were the guy, and knowing that you got to bide your time, get better every day in practice, and obviously in game situations?
Yeah, it kind of started in the summer. I thought I was playing pretty well in the summer. Kind of lost my confidence a little bit at the start of the season, but I learned that just like you got it, when you go in, you got to be ready to go and think that you're going to kill everybody on the floor every time, or else they're going to, get in your stuff and just kind of, dominate you. So got to be ready to go right away, and yeah.
Well, Mr. Iowa basketball, Mr. Illinois basketball, Brock Harding, they're biding their time, and Bobby, you had to do the same thing when you came in with Lute.
Yeah, man, it was find your way. I guess find your spot, find your role. How can you help this team out? How can you contribute? And you don't get a ton of time. And I was kind of forced into action with injury to a lot of guys. There was only 7 of us, I think, left. But that was a Final Four year. Price that year was there back in 1980, but you're going through it. You just keep your confidence up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And stay close to your teammates and coaches, and work through the rough spots and enjoy the good times.
Yeah, for sure.
Price, thanks for coming out. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, man. Price Sanford, one of that bright rising star, member of the freshman class here at the University of Iowa. Hawkeye basketball at Illinois coming up on Saturday at 1:15. Now, when we come back, Coach McCaffery is here. He will join Bobby and I, and you can join us too on Twitter at Gary Dolphin, or on Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. We're at the Hyatt Regency in the Coralville Landing, and we invite you to come on out tonight. We'll be here next Monday night as well, hopefully talking about a victory over the Fighting Illini. This is Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery from Learfield.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oaknoll.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford tough trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Ground beef is only $2.99 a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And $2.99 a pound is not just the price today or this week. It's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop. And count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for ground beef every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
To anyone passing through our state, fields and fields of corn might be what they see. But the people who call Iowa home know it's so much more. Corn is ethanol, a homegrown, renewable fuel. Corn is delicious pork, beef, poultry, and dairy. Corn is in 4,000 products we rely on every day. So yeah, our highway views are full of corn, and we're proud of it. Because corn grows Iowa. Show your support for Iowa corn farmers at iowacorn.org/corngrowsiowa.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel. Good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
Hawkeyes in the Fighting Illini coming up on Saturday at the State Farm Center in Champaign-Urbana. We've got Illinois on the telly here at Penn State tonight. They're playing in the old rec center at Penn State, and the Nittany Lions, down double digits, have come back, roared back to tie the Fighting Illini with 4 seconds to go in the game, 4.2 at least to go in regulation. Penn State shooting 3 free throws to take the lead, and they have taken the lead at 90-89, and Illinois apparently out of timeouts. Yeah, okay, so they've got to make a play here, and we'll follow it right down to the end, and a shot is up and no good at the buzzer, and wow, Penn State,
what a comeback,
has rallied to beat Illinois 90-89. Coach, you've said it a number of times this year. That is the Big Ten. Tom Izzo said it last night. The middle of the pack, like 8 or 9 teams, all with 17 wins. It's been an amazing run in terms of consistency and balance.
Yeah, that was a crazy ending. Just watching the game, that should not have been a 3-point shot. They should not have gotten 3 free throws.
Yeah,
that was not a good call. It's unfortunate that it happened that way. Great win for Penn State. I just don't think you can call a foul on a 3-point shot in that situation when there's really no contact. And let the guy shoot 3 free throws to win the game when you're down 2. But, Illinois had their chance,
Yeah.
They had a guy at the line shooting 2 shots. He missed both.
Missed them both.
Had a chance to put them up 4. They were up 10, late. And Penn State kept fighting, and the pressure that Penn State employs at the full court level really got them sideways. They got a really bad turnover. And actually, they got a pretty good look at the buzzer.
They did. They drove it right down there, almost a layup.
Yeah.
And missed it. But final score 90-89.
Good job not fouling there.
Penn State, yeah, for sure. But that's this league this year, Fran.
Yeah, I mean, everybody is capable of beating anybody on any given day. And that's why the records are what they are.
And the Hawkeyes have a game left with both Penn State and Illinois.
Yeah.
Illinois, well, actually 2 games with the Illini. The Hawks will end the regular season on March 10th, I believe, against on Senior Day over at Carver Hawkeye Arena. But you got to go to Illinois coming up this Saturday, 1:15 for the tip, 12:15 for the pregame show here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Our first look at the Illini this year, Coach, and we play them twice in like the last 10 days of the season. What's your first brush by?
That's something I just don't think should happen with scheduling. Makes no sense. I know it's complicated. It's not something you or I would want to do, to try to figure out how to put a schedule together, especially when you factor in TV, all the different networks, building availability. But I just think the game should be spread out if you're playing every twice.
Well, can you give us a little insight, Fran, on how that is done? Is that done with a computer or a guy with his Rubik's Cube, or what do they do?
There's a guy who's it's a combination, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's people and there's computers.
You got wrestling and women's basketball.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think there's any way you could do it manually anymore. But there is the human factor, and a guy that does it's pretty good at it, typically.
Coach, how about the 2 young guys we had on just before you, Price Sanford and Josh Dix? Price has been money off the bench here of late. Josh has really evolved into a solid guard with Tony Perkins, Brock Harding, DeSante Bowen. Your guard court's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, Josh obviously playing really well. I mean, he's shooting the ball well, but his defense is really crucial to our team. His defense last night was fabulous. Same thing on Saturday. On Saturday, he had some big buckets. I mean, we went to him for a stretch there where he was cooking pretty good. Last night, he didn't shoot as much. Other guys did, and that's fine because he helped us win with his ability to play defense at the other end. Price was great last night. Great block shot. he kind of got screened a little bit, and they thought, I think it was Walker thought he was going to get the shot off, and Price came up and got it. He's 6'7". He's a guy that, you know, he does block shots. Has always done that with his length, and then made the huge three in the first half. We had that run at the end of the half, which really gave us a little bit of separation.
Coach, we've talked about it. Josh, one of his valuable traits, assets, is the ability to handle the basketball. Give you another ball handler out there to take some of the heat off of Tony and the other guards.
Well, you know, he was pretty much a point guard in high school, and you know, had great interest in coming here and playing all spots, like point guard, off guard, small forward if he had to, because he's 6'5", he's athletic, he's powerful, but he wants to handle the ball, and he wants to make plays. He's got a really good handle, he's really good in ball screen action, sees the floor, always has his head up, throws it ahead, feeds the post, makes plays for his teammates, and makes shots. And he's got a great pull-up game, which we saw on display Saturday against Wisconsin.
I mirrored it to Jerry West. I mean, he wouldn't remember who Jerry West is, but just that ability to pull up, straight up, and even lean away a little bit and get him to drop down. I know you've always liked Josh ever since we first started talking about him last year when he came on campus. You stuck with him through the injury, and then you've always trumpeted his ability and what he was going to bring to the Hawks.
Yeah, you know, he was pretty heavily recruited, but as heavily recruited as he was, I thought he was still under-recruited. I mean, that's how good I thought he was. He had, you know, Power 5 offers, but there were some teams that passed on him that I thought he clearly would help, and that was fine with us. And we were locked in on him, you know, from the beginning. Offered him early and just recruited him hard and stayed with him. Just great young guy, great family, and you know, I don't think I ever saw him play poorly at any point in time. And I watched a lot of his games, AAU games, high school games. Never played poorly because of his ability to impact the game in so many different ways. He's also a really good rebounder, you know, and you know, sometimes, especially when you get in foul trouble like we did last night, and you're going small, those guys have to rebound. And then, you know, obviously you go on the road against Michigan State, you have to rebound the ball if you have any chance. You can't turn it over, and you got to rebound. Well, we only had 6 turnovers, and we out-rebounded them. Now you got a chance, because you think about it, we only made 4 threes. They made 10. So somehow you got to make up, 18 points, right? There's the math. You got to make up 18 points somehow. We got to the free throw line, and we rebounded the ball.
You had 7 more points off turnovers, and you won by 7. You talk about take care of the basketball. I love the Price Sanford story where he came to you and said, "Coach, I want to go to the scout team because I can play against the number ones at both ends of the floor and improve his game." That's a basketball mentality.
Yeah, you know what it does is it makes you more aggressive in terms of your mindset. So, you know, you're on the scout team. You know, you're the number one bucket getter for them, whoever that is, and you know, you're driving the ball, you're shooting threes, you're attacking the basket, you know, you're posting up, whatever, trying to get to the rim in transition, coming off screens, and he just needed to get back to doing what he's capable of doing, because we all know that that's what he's capable of doing. We saw it in high school as Mr. Basketball. We saw it this summer when we went overseas. He was great. And we saw it sometimes in the games this year early. And, you know, it's hard. And I'm not going to say it's easy when you're not getting as many minutes. You know, last year, you know, he's getting 40 and he's playing the whole time. You know, now he's coming off the bench and, you know, he's in, he's starting to get warm, and then we take him out and put, you know, Peyton or Patrick or Josh or somebody back in, Tony. But I thought, you know, in the last couple of weeks, Price has been great. Really been impressed with him.
Coach, staying ready.
Got to.
I thought you don't need a compliment from me, but I thought your bench coaching last night was unbelievable. Your substitution patterns, given the fact you not only did you not have Owen Freeman, you didn't have Lodgy. and particularly late in the game, you didn't pull the trigger on putting Owen back in there until well under the 4-minute official timeout. He came up with a couple big plays, a great pass, and a dunk that didn't seal the deal, but it put you up 3 possessions. That had to be your mind had to be twirling last night on substitution patterns, given the uniqueness of the foul situation.
Well, the key to it all was how well Ben Krikke played.
For sure.
Because, you know, especially against them, especially up there with the size that they have, the only way we're going to be able to do what we just talked about, our rebounding, is if Ben rebounded the ball at the 5 spot. Because we basically had 4 guards and Ben Krikke. So he gets 18 points and 14 rebounds. So he was really physical, and he was really going after every traffic rebound. So now it enables me to keep more shooters on the floor. I could go to Evan Bronze, who was ready and physically capable in that situation. But by being able to have Patrick and Peyton and Josh and Tony, now you've got essentially 5 scorers out there. So it makes us harder to guard as long as we can play small. You know, Laji was really good last night when I first put him in. But then he got in foul trouble, like you said, as well. But, you know, we've got some other options we can go to. I mean, I didn't play him, but I could have played Carter Kingsbury. He's a guy that I would have no trouble playing with his experience and his physicality and his ability to stretch the floor and make threes. So I've got some different ways that I can go. But Ben Krikke last night was absolutely special.
Coach, let's go back to post-Maryland when you challenged him, said, we got to have more out of you, Ben, how he responded. Just talk about the past week.
Yeah, you know, and I think he knew it already, but, you know, when you look at the stats, he played 33 minutes. I mean, he's out there playing hard. I mean, he's a wonderful kid. But we get out-rebounded. We lose the game, close game, and he only gets 1 rebound. And, you know, you're kind of stating the obvious, but, you know, you're never asking somebody to do what they can't do. You know, Ben, we need more from you. You're better than that. We need more. Get on the glass. And I mean, you gotta be up there 7, 8, 9 at least. If you're not going to get 14 every night. But he's 6'9", 245. He's long. He's athletic. Go get the ball. You know, we know you're going to be hanging around on the perimeter a little bit because you can score, and we want you to score. We want you to shoot the ball. But you've got to get on the glass if our team is going to win. And he gets it. And he's a winning guy. He's a character guy. His teammates love him. And we're just thrilled to have him.
Coach, the Wisconsin win in overtime had to play into last night, to a carryover. What did you like about the Wisconsin game that you saw repeating itself last night? Other than the free throw line, which is huge.
Yeah, you know, I think it was just the fight. You know, the guys were fighting for us. You saw it last night. You knew they were going to make a run, and we got up 16. You knew they were going to make a run. They did, and we fought them off.
Yeah.
But we fought to get the lead. You know, Wisconsin was, up and down. But they're a team that has a lot of weapons. You know, they can go back down game with Crowell and Wall. You know, Chucky can go off. Klesmik can shoot the ball. A.J. Storr is one of the best players in the league. So there's a lot of things that you have to deal with defensively against that team. And we did, and it's one thing to do it, but you got to be able to do it consistently to get the win. We had the last shot in regulation, a lot of contact. I thought a lot of times they don't make that call, and that's what I was just talking about. They made the call tonight. In the Penn State-Illinois game. I didn't think it was a foul. Put the kid on the, especially on a three-point shot.
To win the game.
To win the game, you're up. You're up 2, and
should be obvious.
Call it. You got to hit the guy pretty good, I think. Tony got hit. I thought it was a foul. The referees didn't see it that way. They were not going to put him on the free throw line in a tie game unless there was obvious contact in their view. I get it. That's typically what the officials do. And then we got to go get them in overtime, which we did.
Indeed, character building. So Wisconsin, Michigan State, and now Illinois on Saturday. Your just general thoughts about the Fighting Illini take tonight out of the picture, just Illinois on paper.
Well, they're one of the best teams in the country. You know, you look at Terrence Shannon, what did he get, 37 tonight, something like that?
35, 37.
And then they're one of the oldest teams in college basketball. You got Domask is a upper class transfer. You know, Coleman Hawkins is old guy. Terrence Shannon. Terrence Shannon was at Texas Tech when Garza was playing. You know, that's how long they've been in college. So, you know, Brad's done a good job of getting a bunch of pieces that came from different locations and getting them to play together. But they have a lot of size. You know, Dane Dania, who's really good. I mean, he's hardly playing. He's playing about 7 or 8 minutes a game. And that guy, you know, he's 6'10", probably 265, and really talented. So they have a lot of options. Luke Goody, another senior, shooting really well from three-point range. But they're a big team. They have big wings. They have size in the post. Their guards are big, and they've got speed. So that's why they're so good.
One kid's helped them, that Southern Illinois dude. Domask. Is that how you say it?
Domask.
Yeah, he scored over 2,000 points, I was reading earlier this evening. And
think about how good they'd be, because they would have him and the kid Jones at Purdue.
At Purdue.
Oh, that's right.
It's one of the best players in our league.
Yeah.
SIU. That the salute.
It's a new world we're in.
Yeah, that's we go back to transfer portal, and
those schools like that, they just take the best players.
It's a shame, but it's the state of the game today, as Fran has stated many times. Iowa, Illinois, 1:15 here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Saturday afternoon, 12:15 for the pregame show. Tonight's Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery from the Hyatt Regency is sponsored by Wellmark. Attention, Hawk fans who buy your own health insurance. Wellmark is on your side and on the health insurance marketplace. Let's give it up for plans you can afford. Check out wellmark.com/hoops and compare plans. We will go to Facebook and Twitter with Coach McCaffery when we come back from a timeout here at the Hyatt Regency on Hawk Talk with Coach Fran and Learfield.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Nestled on the rolling greens of the iconic Finkbine Golf Course, Bumps Restaurant is open to the public year-round. Whether you're swinging by after a round of golf or just in the neighborhood, Bumps is your go-to spot for scrumptious sandwiches, shareable appetizers, and mouth-watering pizzas. Quench your thirst with our selection of local craft beers, or let our full bar serve you a refreshing cocktail to toast to your game, or just because it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Our happy hour from 2 to 6 p.m. is the perfect 19th hole. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram to catch our latest daily specials. And here's a little insider secret just for our radio listeners. Thursdays are not to be missed at Bumps Restaurant. It's BOGO Happy Hour. Buy one, get one free on select beverages from our happy hour menu. Whether you're a diehard golfer or just love a great meal with a view, Bumps Restaurant at Finkbine Golf Course is your destination. We're currently open Wednesday through Saturday. Swing on by today. Bumps at Finkbine Golf Course. Great food, great drinks, and the best views in town. See you at Bumps.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
To anyone passing through our state, fields and fields of corn might be what they see. But the people who call Iowa home know it's so much more. Corn is ethanol, a homegrown, renewable fuel. Corn is delicious pork, beef, poultry, and dairy. Corn is in 4,000 products we rely on every day. So yeah, Our highway views are full of corn, and we're proud of it. Because corn grows Iowa. Show your support for Iowa corn farmers at iowacorn.org/fan of corn.
When it comes to your health, you need the full picture. That means the right diagnosis and the right treatment right from the start. I'm Aaron Bose, pediatric neurologist with the University of Iowa Healthcare. Here, we're working together every day to advance medicine so you can get the best care. With more research, more clinical trials, and more treatment options than anywhere else in the state, the University of Iowa Healthcare is changing medicine and changing lives. Learn more at uihc.org.
Hawkeyes in the Fighting Illini on Saturday afternoon here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. We're at the Hyatt Regency in Coralville, the Iowa River Landing on the banks of the Iowa River. Coach McCaffery show until 8:30. We'll be here next Monday night. The Hawks and the Illini at 12:15 for our pregame coverage. Bobby and I on Saturday afternoon at the State Farm Center. And then the tip-off at 1:15. Before we go to Facebook and Twitter for Coach McCaffery, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. You're listening to Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery. And let's go to Facebook.com/voice of the for Coach McCaffery. Laura, Fran, wants to know, how do you keep Owen Freeman up? It has to be so frustrating for him with so many fouls called on him this year. And much of the time, to me, he appears like he's standing straight up. How do you talk him through it?
You keep teaching. You know, he chops down too much, which is something you would expect. You know, in high school, he's blocking the shots, you know, sometimes 10 a game. It's harder at this level. He's just got to stay vertical and stay out of foul trouble. He's a hard worker. You know, he wants to compete. He wants to succeed. He did it against Wisconsin, and thankfully he did because he was a dominant player in that game. He was on his way last night to having a huge game.
He had a big block.
Big block and a big dunk, you know, at the end when he came back in. So when he was out there, he was incredibly effective. But you know, he's got to understand, sometimes you just tall up, and if they score, they score. Stay out of foul trouble. We need you on the floor.
Jim says, Coach, on Facebook, a nice couple wins here. Congrats. Seems like several of our losses have been with super physical play in the paint. Has the bumping and slapping gotten worse? Good luck on Saturday.
The bumping and slapping is, you know, I would say is about the same. Okay. Especially when you're playing Michigan State. You know, they play a certain way. They put their hands on you. You got to get their hands off you. We talk about that all the time. You know, some teams are a little more finesse-oriented. You look at Penn State tonight, how did they win? They just pressed Illinois and turned them over. And that's physical. There's physicality there. There are some teams that will play bigger, which I think is what he's referencing.
Yes.
You know, so now you have more physicality in the post. He's right about that. And you see some teams that just want to play small. They want to go small. They want to put three-point shooters. They want to put drivers. They want to put athletes out there. So those teams sometimes are not quite as physical. But this league, as you know, is always going to be physical because you either have big, strong, physical guys or you have really powerful athletes that are quick and can get the spots.
Coach on Facebook, Eugene checking in. Coach, now last night aside because of the foul situation, but Eugene says, Coach, have you started to cut down on your rotations, gone more with situational substitutions this late in the season?
Yeah, last couple games, you know, and I don't like to do this because I want to reward playing time for guys that are great people and really work hard, and that's DeSante Bowen. I mean, he's a fabulous person and a good player. But we played Tony and Josh and Brock a little bit more, and then Price and Patrick on the wing with Peyton. And you're right, some of that was a result of foul trouble. So you can play Patrick and Price and Peyton because they're 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", in that range. So it gives you a little more flexibility. It gives you a chance to make sure you can still rebound. It's harder to go with three smaller guards. and then still plan on rebounding.
For sure. Let's move over to Twitter, Coach. Greg says, without getting fined, because I know you can't talk about referees, but it seems to me that in the Big Ten they're calling too many fouls. He said, I watch a lot of Big 12 basketball. They seem to allow more contact. Are the numbers, am I right? Is there more fouls being called this year in the Big Ten? I know you get
I haven't seen much of a difference.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't ever say, oh, well, they do this in the Big Ten and they do this in the Big 12. No, they ref the games. If there's a foul, call a foul. If there's not a foul, don't call a foul. It's not like they have a league meeting and say, okay, this is how we're going to ref games in the Big Ten this year. That doesn't happen.
Here's our foul quota.
It's all the same refs.
They
all work different leagues.
Yeah.
So
good point.
Yeah, that's.
It just seems like that to the fans because
it does.
They watch Baylor get all over you and barely let you breathe there in the Big 12, and they don't call anything.
Yeah,
that's you want fans talking about the game, and if they're talking about the fouls. Coach Wilson, Fran, what Hawkeye player has been the easiest to coach in your career at Iowa? What player you just turn him loose, let him go? I imagine there's a few. Bohannon.
Bohannon was really easy because he's so smart. Connor. We've had some really smart guys. Marble was phenomenal.
Oh, Wieskamp was.
I mean, you could go. You could go Woodbury, Gasell, Clemens, Utah.
Well, that whole team with Gasell.
Yeah, I mean, Gabe Olashaney. I mean, Ryan Kriener. I mean, we had so many really good players that were essentially zero maintenance. We don't have,
love those guys.
You don't have multiple individual meetings to, get them straightened out academically and get their attitude straightened out and get them to work harder and get them to understand the scouting report better. You know what? Those guys showed up for work and they paid attention. They locked into the scouting report. They played hard. They competed and they played together.
We've
been pretty lucky with that group. I haven't had too many. Peter Jock was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm guessing Dean Smith didn't need to corner Michael Jordan a lot and talk to him, or Larry Bird.
And the truth of the matter is, if you have those guys, they got to move on.
Turn them loose, let them go.
You get rid of the guys that are high maintenance. You can't have
good point
high maintenance because one guy can ruin a whole locker room.
Well, you mentioned Connor. Let's go to break with this. John says, Coach, have Connor and Caitlin ever had a one-on-one pickup game? And if so, who won?
It's kind of a silly question.
Yeah. You really want to answer that?
Connor's 6'6", 218 pounds. I'm pretty sure who would win a one-on-one match.
Especially if they didn't call fouls.
Yeah, well, it's an unfair comparison.
I agree.
It's just an unfair comparison.
And Caitlin's had a lot of unfair comparisons.
Now Caitlin's going to win a three-point contest with most people she goes against, including Connor. Maybe including Steph. What's that?
I think we're going to find out here in a year, man.
We might find that one out.
That's the big push now. Steph and Caitlin on the floor.
That's part of the All-Star Weekend.
How about the All-Star Weekend? Because they certainly need a boost after what I saw Sunday. That and the NFL All-Star game.
Well, they finally went to flag football.
Yeah, I know.
Which is
it's just
kind of silly. But
I don't know what the TV ratings were, but nor do I care. All right, well, there you have it, John. Your answer on Twitter at Gary Dolphin. We'll take a break. Come back with more with Coach McCaffery here. We're here until 8:30 tonight at the Hyatt Regency in Coralville. Thanks for tuning in on the Hawkeye Radio Network. We're brought to you by Iowa Corn. Throughout the Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk Series, tennis just beat the Cyclones the other night. Way to go, Coach, and Hawkeye Tennis. Iowa Corn promotes values that are uniquely Iowan. On behalf of Iowa's corn farmers, we salute all athletes for their hard work and determination both on and off the field. Just like our athletes, our state leads the nation in corn and ethanol production. Follow Iowa Corn on Facebook and learn how corn grows Iowa. Come back with us in a minute here on Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery from Learfield.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oaknall is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oaknall.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Oh, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. While farmers work hard to grow the best crop, their Iowa corn checkoff investments are hard at work too. Opening local and global markets for corn and corn-fed products, educating drivers on unleaded 88 as the best fuel at the pump, finding new uses for corn, and sharing the farmer's story. Iowa corn farmers are backed by researchers, educators, market experts, and more. To keep corn growing Iowa.
Ground beef is only $2.99 a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And $2.99 a pound is not just the price today or this week. It's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop. And count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for ground beef every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
Contractors, you're busier than ever this fall, but you've got this with high-quality building materials from Spahn & Rose, like GAF. Use the Spahn & Rose visualizer to plan the perfect roof and blend an elegant architectural look with exceptional performance. GAF, we protect what matters the most. With several Spahn & Rose locations nearby, you can focus on life's other important things this fall. Spahn & Rose, buy easier, build better.
I'm Ingrid Lizarraga, breast surgeon at the University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center, the state's only NCI-designated cancer center. Here, we look beyond just the type of cancer you have to discover the molecular details of the disease. We have teams dedicated to each cancer type, with treatments and trials you won't find anywhere else in Iowa. Go to uihc.org/cancer.
Hawk Talk from the Hyatt Regency with Coach McCaffery. Great crowd here again tonight. Thank you all for coming out. Let's welcome the Iowa Limestone Producers Association here in Mass. Guys and gals, thanks for being here, along with Heartland Express, great supporter of the Hawks. Russ and Ann Jardine, I remember when they formed that company many, many years ago. Great charitable and civic members of our community and great Hawk fans. So Iowa Limestone Producers Association and Heartland Express, they've overrun the Hyatt Regency here in the Iowa River Landing, and it's great to have them here, at least a few of them here for our program tonight. It's crunch, munch, chop time in college basketball as we're in the stretch drive for postseason, and a lot of important games going on. Let's check the U.S. Bank scoreboard. You heard us talking earlier about Penn State's rally to beat 12th-ranked Illinois 90-89 out in State College this evening. The Hawks go to 12th-ranked Illinois on Saturday afternoon. That's a 1:15 start time, 12:15 for the pregame show here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. A game underway now. They're approaching halftime at Bloomington, Indiana, and Nebraska has a commanding 13-15 point lead on the Indiana Hoosiers in Bloomington. It's Nebraska leading 42-27 when last I checked. We'll keep you posted on that. Other games around the country, number 8 Duke beat Miami in ACC play. 42-31 now? Okay, so Indiana's hit a couple baskets. Huskers are up by 11 as they approach halftime down in Bloomington. Duke beat Miami 84-55. George Mason upset 16th-ranked Dayton 71-67 this evening. 17th ranked Kentucky and LSU are just underway. They're tied at 8. Marquette has an early 7-4 lead on DePaul. And with 3 minutes to go in overtime, 13th ranked Alabama has a 2-point lead on number 24 Florida. They're playing that one in Tuscaloosa. Alabama 87 and Florida 85. That is the U.S. Bank scoreboard update. We're at the Hyatt Regency in Coralville, and Matt and his team is extremely excited for their brand new restaurant. It's called the Watermill Kitchen and Bar, and it's going to open up in mid-March, just beyond the existing bar, the old Edgewater Grill area that we sit in right now. It's going to be a 5-star type restaurant opening up in mid-March, the Watermill Kitchen and Bar here at the Hyatt Regency. And the vibrant new menu will produce locally sourced Midwest food favorites, including specialties like braised short rib and sweet corn fritters. Everybody at the Hyatt is so excited for you all to stop by at the end of the basketball season and experience the new Watermill Kitchen and Bar heading into the spring. All right, we'll take another break, come back, and wrap up this week's Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery. We'll go back to Facebook and Twitter with your questions right after this. This is Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery and Learfield.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
To anyone passing through our state, fields and fields of corn might be what they see. But the people who call Iowa home know it's so much more. Corn is ethanol, a homegrown, renewable fuel. Corn is delicious pork, beef, poultry, and dairy. Corn is in 4,000 products we rely on every day. So yeah, our highway views are full of corn, and we're proud of it. Because corn grows Iowa. Show your support for Iowa corn farmers at iowacorn.org/corn grows Iowa.
When it comes to your health, you need the full picture. That means the right diagnosis and the right treatment right from the start. I'm Aaron Bowes, pediatric neurologist with University of Iowa Healthcare. Here, we're working together every day to advance medicine so you can get the best care. With more research, more clinical trials, and more treatment options than anywhere else in the state, the University of Iowa Healthcare is changing medicine and changing lives. Learn more at uihc.org.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
Ground beef is only $2.99 a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And $2.99 a pound is not just the price today or this week. It's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop. And count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for ground beef every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oaknoll.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
All right, we're back with our remaining moments with Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffery. Hawks on a roll, back-to-back wins over the Badgers and the Spartans, and now it's on to another of the Big Ten's best, the Fighting Illini down in Champaign-Urbana at the State Farm Center. Coach Underwood and his Fighting Illini taking on the Hawks at 1:15 Saturday afternoon here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Back to Facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. Brent checking in. Fran, besides basketball sense and skills, what other characteristic or traits do you look for in basketball recruits from high school and or through the transfer portal? It's a different animal, the transfer portal.
Yeah, and it's a harder process because it's quick. When you recruit high school players, you start recruiting them typically when they're sophomores or sometimes earlier, or at least as juniors. And you have time to get to know them, their families. You talk to the coach, you build a relationship, and you identify character. And that's the most important aspect in recruiting. You need good people because they'll be smart, they'll be tough, they'll be able to play with 4 other guys, they'll be able to be great in the locker room. The portal guys, you're just getting to know them really quickly. Now with Ben Cricky and Phillip, we did as much homework as we could, and we could not have done better with those 2 guys. You talk to them a bunch. I mean, I talked to Phillip, had a guy that was helping him that asked a lot of questions, and then we talked to his dad back home. And we talked to him a bunch of times, and they asked all the right questions and talked to his people at his previous school, and it was a no-brainer. Same thing with Ben. I think I said before, when we went to see Ben, you could look at his numbers, and you could watch him on film and say that he's a great fit. But we went down there and met with him, and he asked the Valparaiso coaching staff to be there with him and to help him through the process, which is impressive because the Valparaiso staff had been let go. So he still asked them to do it, and they're awesome people, and they did it. And actually, one of the assistants came with him on his visit. He drove up with his family to be here and be a part of that because his family was back in Canada. But we talked to his parents in Canada. So we do as much work as we can. But the most important aspect, anybody can watch a guy play or even watch him on tape and tell that he can play. But what kind of person is he? That's the most important thing.
Good to know him. Yeah. I'm curious, what percentage of players in the transfer portal that you figure out you're interested in, what percentage of those players did you already know about in the high school recruiting process?
You know about a lot of them because you've seen them all play.
Yeah.
Maybe you recruited some of them that went somewhere else. Now they're back in the portal. Sometimes you don't know anything about them. Sometimes they were under-recruited and they blew up. But the key is sometimes they're in the portal for a reason. And the reason might not be a good one. So you have to be able to identify that. Maybe there's academic issues, maybe there's character issues, maybe there's drug issues. And that's what you're trying to avoid.
Coach, is Phillip still playing?
Oh, yeah. Playing well. Playing back home. Playing back home.
Is he back in Serbia?
Yeah, he's, he went to Portsmouth after his senior year and did really well. And had a lot of interest. Some NBA teams were talking to him about coming to camp and so forth. But he ended up back home, and he's very happy and just love that kid.
Yeah, I did too. I'm glad we got a couple years with him.
Yeah.
Bobby, the recruiting's a little different than when Lute Olson knocked on your door the first time.
Yeah.
Today. No transfer portal, no.
He was looking at somebody else. So
he was. Came down to you.
I got lucky.
Yeah. We figured it out.
Yeah, well,
sometimes you got to figure it out.
Yeah, no, it was a good memory, but it was, as you said, completely different.
Was it you and
it is now?
Was it Hank Raymond at Marquette?
I was talking to Al about that. Yeah, Texas A&M was in there. You always want to maybe go get out of town and and take a look, and my mother said over my dead body, "You will not be going."
If Texas A&M was recruiting me, I wouldn't know what city it was in.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Who was up in Houston?
Who was the coach at Texas A&M?
His name was Shelby Metcalf.
He was a character.
Yeah. He was. I didn't really meet him until I got down there, and then Norman Ruther was the tall Texan. My old man got a kick out of him. He had a cowboy hat on and cowboy boots, and he would come into Dowling and sit right next to Luke. Yeah, he'd sit right next to Luke and Bobby and just drive them nuts. But no, I finally came to my senses, and my old man's like,
you were
need
not
to go
going to Texas A&M.
No, my mother had slammed the door and told him to get out of her house and locked the door. Marquette was. I was telling Al, Rick Majerus picked me up in his AMC Gremlin, and he had his sweats on, and we went right to Al McGuire's office at the top floor of the Medalist Building in Milwaukee.
AMC Gremlin.
Yeah, I can't tell you what he called it, but I got an autographed book of poetry for my mother from Al McGuire, Seashells and Balloons. Al McGuire.
Okay, that's enough. I mean, one of my favorites.
Majerus is a good dude, though.
Great guy.
He's a great guy.
I miss him. Yeah, he'd call every now and then. Yeah. He was out in Utah living in the hotel.
Great job in Utah.
Yeah.
Kirk Ferentz loves to tell the story about when he came in to interview. He's 23 years old to interview for his first job with Hayden Fry, and he said, Barry Alvarez picked me up at the Cedar Rapids airport in a K car. A Plymouth K car.
Hey, look, in those days, you were happy to have something to drive.
Something other
Give
than
me something to drive
a
around
bicycle.
in. I don't care what it is. I drove a Chevy Chevette with the Lehigh seal on the side in Latin.
Nice.
Driving around town.
In Latin.
I was driving in style.
Okay, Coach, one more off Facebook here from Ken. Congratulations on 2 great wins. The defensive intensity and physical play stand out. How do you maintain that aggressive posture? But
we better have it on Saturday.
Stay under control against the Illini.
Because we're going to be fighting an angry group.
Indeed.
With multiple drivers and a lot of size. Yeah, I think the key is try to keep fresh people out there as much as you can. That's one of the problems with shortening the bench. You look at Tony, Peyton, Ben, in particular, Josh. Those guys played a lot of minutes these last 2 games. So we got other guys that are ready to go. But, you got to get that first miss. The defensive intensity wanes if you give up 2, 3, and 4 shots. Can't do it.
Thank you for the question there on Facebook, Ken. Let's see what we got left here on Twitter. Griffin. That's a good one to end on. By the way, our authentic brand merchandise pack won tonight by Laura. She had the question. Laura's from up in Dayton in Webster County. Thank you, Laura, the home of Aaron Greving, one of the outstanding defensive linemen on the Hawkeye football team. And by the way, thanks to Authentic Brand, you can submit an interesting question each week for Coach McCaffery via Twitter at Gary Dolphin or Facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. You could win a Hawkeye gear prize pack from Authentic Brand, and tonight's winner is Laura. Thank you, Laura. And we thank Authentic Brand for outfitting our Hawkeye broadcast team. All right, Griffin, last question of the night, Coach. I want to know if Coach McCaffery likes to eat a big old good heavy meal before a game, or is he a quick and easy snack guy? And if he eats a full meal, what is it?
We eat pregame meal, just like you do. Just like the players.
I'm not going to answer your question.
A nice little spread.
You like broccoli? You like salmon?
Well, we don't have that.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that on the buffet.
So what do you eat?
What buffet are you going to?
I'm going down the street.
We have grilled chicken. We have pasta. We have chicken noodle soup. We have steak. We have pancakes. We have Caesar salad. We have regular salad.
Fruit.
And fruit. And so pick one.
And pizza on the plane.
Pizza on the plane home. Yeah, it's always cold, but
tastes better though after
by the time you get to it.
Cold pizza is better than cold something else.
For sure.
Right.
All right, there you go, Griffin. That's a way to end the show tonight. I don't think we've ever had a more comical ending to Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery, and that's a good note to end on going on into Chambana on Saturday.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, good luck.
Appreciate it, Dolph.
Hey, thanks for coming out, Coach. Fran McCaffery and Hawk Talk. Thanks to the Hyatt Regency. I'm Gary Dolphin for Bobby Hansen. We'll talk Saturday from Champaign-Urbana, Iowa, Illinois, as March Madness approaches. Good night, everybody.
on the Hawkeyes Sports Network. From Learfield, live from the Hyatt Regency, this has been Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery. Brought to you by Authentic Brand, the premium label of choice. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. By your local Ford dealers. Hy-Vee, score big savings with the new Hy-Vee Perks membership. Iowa Corn. You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Brought to you by Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by U.S. Cellular, built for the Hawkeyes. Built for silencing notifications and turning up the noise. U.S. Cellular, built for us. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeyes Sports Network.